Professor Stanislav Tkachenko, given such a diverse multi-level governance in the region and overlapping regional cooperation structures and the soft law nature of the organization, how can CBSS distinguish its role in the region?
CBSS is the only universal intergovernmental organization in the region because of other organizations are going beyond the region, like Arctic Council or Barents Euro-Arctic region, or organizations which have more narrow specialization. So from the point of view of current state and the possibility for development, CBSS is a perfect format for solving the current agenda in economic and political relationship, but also this is probably the only organization now which is able to handle the challenges which exist in global economy, global politics, and even in European security. So, especially keeping in mind that CBSS is one of a few organizations, then Russia Federation is a full-fledged member. CBSS is extremely important for Russian diplomacy, Russian foreign policy today, and Moscow will do its best to keep momentum in development of CBSS in the future.
And how do you think the Baltic Sea region cooperation will look like in 10 years?
Well, I do believe that in 10 years, the economic growth, people-to-people contacts in the Baltic Sea region will grow and will lead to the situation then trust will prevail in the region. So I'm an optimist. I think that in future, such formats as CBSS or Northern Dimension, then Russia is one of the members, will help to create bridges and contacts between different nations, and Baltic Sea region will be able to preserve its role of the safest and most prosperous regions in the world, which it was in the 90s. Now this status is under some pressure, but in future it will return this status of the most prosperous and stable region in the world.
CBSS Vision Group member Astrid Thors, what are the possible incentives for the states around the Baltic Sea to keep the cooperation ongoing and to further strengthen it?
I think there are different incentives for different countries, but I think the most important, in fact, is to have the popular support for the cooperation, and also you get the popular support because most people around the Baltic are concerned for the state of the environment and the wish to promote prosperity around the Baltic Sea.
How do you think the Baltic Sea region cooperation will look like in 10 years?
I hope that it will be really flourishing, and that it is kind of, when we're talking about NGOs, when we are talking about young people and research and education, that it's kind of self-sustaining and natural. I think that we would need only some flagships and some awards, but otherwise that it would be, natural. And I think we have some things still to do, because, for instance, when we talk about culture, there is a situation that it's a little bit difficult to engage the other outside the Nordic countries. Even for us in Finland, it might be a little bit difficult. So I hope that it will be more and more natural. And the little bit of suspicion that you sometimes find, because we have now that many people migrate from Poland and the Baltic states to the Nordics and Germany, and those tensions will be overcome, and that movements go in all directions. That will be natural, and that people would see this as a kind of natural area of cooperation.
How does CBSS differ from other multiple actors of the Baltic Sea region, and what is its special role in the region?
CBSS is a unique actor because we have all the member states around the Baltic Sea region as member states, and that includes the non-EU member states, Russia, Norway and Iceland. So it's a unique setting. that basically reflects also the other regional corporations that like the Nordic Council of Ministers or the Barents Euro-Arctic Council. And I think that unique cooperation allows us to kind of work also together with the European Union, which is also a whole member of the organization. And in this setting, we are able to have a wide range of policy areas that we are covering to build trust amongst our members.
And how do you think the Baltic Sea region cooperation will look like in 10 years?
Well, the Baltic Sea region is probably going through some change because what we started with in 1992 was basically focusing on European integration. Because in 1992 there were only two EU member states around the Baltic Sea region, namely Germany and Denmark. This picture has changed, and so that in a way has been achieved to the extent possible. And the other direction that is showing is that we are going more into practical cooperation. Apart from the political dialogue that is taking place amongst the member states on a political level, we're also looking and we're working a lot more on a practical level in, for example, in civil protection or in protecting victims of trafficking human beings, protecting children, but also on the economic factor or on people-to-people contact. So it is going more in the horizontal direction where we will have more participants from other organizations than just from the government side. And I think that will kind of dominate the work of the Council for the next 10 years at least.